Hi there everybody, it's UK independent demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.com, and thank you for joining me for my Winter Wednesday series. So this is very similar to my Saturday series where I have no idea what I'm making. I just have a stamp set and some papers or whatever I've just grabbed off my shelf, and I challenge myself to make 3 cards. The only difference with the Winter Wednesdays is that it is all from the mini catalogue, so it will be featuring Halloween, autumn and Christmas, so there will be a bit of a mixture going on a Wednesday over here. Today I've picked up the Life is Beautiful photopolymer stamp set to kick us off. This is in the mini catalogue. If you want a copy of the mini catalogue, please let me know and I will pop it in the post to you. I've got a whole heap of them just by the side of my desk ready to go. And this here is the autumn paper that's in it. I love it. It's foiled, it's gorgeous. All of these products are available from my website slimandstylish.com. Go up to the header and click buy and you can add any of these to your basket. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm making today, but we're just going to have some fun, see where it goes. I have just noticed that I pulled out some Whisper White and I think it's done with Very Vanilla. So, bit of a mistake. Oh no, it's not. It's kind of like an off-white, or is it Very Vanilla? I'm not sure. But you know what? We can work it out when we get there. Not sure which colours I'm using anyway. So I'm going to start off with the stamp set. I love this one. I thought it was so cute. And I've actually got my Stamparatus at the ready because I'm not sure how big our tree is as to whether it will fit on any of my blocks or not. So let's have a look. The biggest block I've got is our E block. It's going to be too big for that, so the Stamparatus is the right thing. There is a bigger block that you can get, but I just decided anything other than E I would just use my Stamparatus for. Tell I haven't used it at all yet, so not really a clue where I'm going with it. And I refused before I started. I was going to have a look in the catalogue and see what they had done with it, but I thought no, that's cheating. You go at it totally blind, Hells, and try and get it right. So let's see, because it's photopolymer I'm going to need my foam mat underneath, so I always have one in anyway, but because it's photopolymer you need 2. If you're using the red rubber cling, just 1 is fine. So I've got some larger sheets of Whisper White cardstock here. They're 10.2 centimetres by 14.5 centimetres. And it would help if I put my magnets on. If you're new to the Stamparatus, haven't used it before or anything else, you actually get 2 magnets. They're quite big, but they're really strong. And if they stick together, they quite often snap because there is a lot of magnet. And that, of course, is what's happened to me. I can sit here all day and tell all of you guys not to do it, but I go ahead and do it myself because I'm stupid. So I'm just going to line that up. Now, if you're using photopolymer stamps on your Whisper White for the first time in the Stamparatus, I have noticed they stick and pull the paper up. So if you just pop your bone folder underneath, there is just enough gap to get that all the way underneath and make sure your paper stays in the right place. Very handy. And I'm going to take the stamps out and just use the case so that I can pop that under there to secure it. Keeps it nice and steady. And I think I'm going to be using Early Espresso, which is what I thought I was going to be using, but I've moved it. I actually film quite a few videos on a day, so I'll have a Saturday that I'm not working and I'll just like bash out 6 or 7 videos so that I can schedule them ahead of time. But the problem with doing that is I've often used the craft stuff elsewhere and have forgotten where I've put it because I'm a bit dense sometimes. So there's my tree, and it's only just as I'm stamping it that I'm beginning to think maybe I should have put it a little bit further down so that I could fit my bits and pieces on at the top. Oh, that's lovely. It's a distinctive stamp set. I hadn't realised that, but that's shaded and done. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm not even going to I'm not going to mess with that anymore. That's amazing. Love that. Didn't realise it did that. Love finding out things. So I'm going to start with the leaves because it is for autumn. There is snowflakes on there as well, but you know, it is only July. So I'm gonna, yeah, it needs 2 stamps, I reckon, one over there and one over there, but that's okay with me because I am going to use different colours. So I'm thinking crushed curry and Merry Mallow, and perhaps maybe a little bit of pumpkin pie. So actually what I'm going to do, I've been thinking about this while I was saying it, could end up a mess, but that's the whole point of these, isn't it? So I've got some scrap paper at the side because I don't mind getting my grid paper dirty when I'm not filming, but I hate it when I'm filming because I don't like it distracting from what I'm doing. So pumpkin pie, ooh, and pumpkin pie. Like it, like it. Don't often use pumpkin pie, so it's quite exciting for me when I get to use it. Clean that up on my chamois. Merry Mallow. Just in the middle there. Ooh. This is a beautiful stamp, isn't it? Love it. Okay. And let's just pop that one off. And I'm going to grab those dots. So there's also these sort of like dots here, and I'm hoping it means that some of them are shaded differently to others. It looks like it. I'm just realising I've got ink pads everywhere with their lids off. And I'm wearing a white top and it's got like sleeves down here, so we all know that's a bit silly. Crushed curry. And I'm going to ink that up. Just work out which way around I want it first. That way, I think. And we'll stamp that. Oh, yes! Like that. Like that. Proper autumn tree. So I've got, oh, I took them out, didn't I? Got my little bird's nest already. And I think that's going to be one of these shabby chic ones. So I'm going to pop it in balmy blue. I could use Coastal Cabana or Mint Macaron, but I just grabbed balmy blue. Oh, yes, like that too. I feel like I'm having a good little session with this. And life is beautiful pretty much because it is. How can you argue? No, I don't want it balmy blue. Early espresso, I'm thinking. Life is beautiful. Dead simple card for my first one. I'm actually going to use my mini guillotine and I'm just going to have a little tiny trim around this. Tiny, tiny. This one goes off. I want this one to go off the side as well so it matches. So it's not much. It's just so I think it's even because I get a bit funny with things not being even. I can take a little bit off the top as well so that it matches it all up. There we go. I like that. So, piece of Whisper White cardstock, cut in half, scored in half. And it's at the moment cut in half but not scored. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer, do that. And then burnish it with the bone folder. I really like that, and I don't think I actually want another matting colour underneath. I just like it like that, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And pop that up. Card number 1. I might come back to it and put some sort of embellishments and stuff on it, but that's it at the moment. I'm going to keep Balmy Blue out. I'm going to pop all the other dark colours away for the time being. Piece of Whisper White cardstock that is again 14.5 by 10.2, and keep Balmy Blue out. And I'm going to clean off my dots. I'm going to keep the dots out and keep the little birds out. Balmy Blue, soft sea foam, Highland Heather. No, yeah, I was going to switch that for Seaside Spray, but I'm going to keep it Balmy Blue, soft sea foam, Highland Heather, and Petal Pink. Back to my favourites. Take all the lids off. What could go wrong with my white top? Everything. Pop that on some scrap paper. And I'm going to start with the dots at the bottom and work my way around a little bit. So I'm actually going to start with the darkest colour, which is Highland Heather. Chamois. Balmy Blue. Don't worry that I'm going over it, that really doesn't matter to me. Soft sea foam. Petal Pink. And I'm going to bring in some So Saffron because I want a bit of a different colour tone. There we go. Like that. Yep, going to pop it that way, and I'm not going to do anything else on that actual sheet because I like it. I was just trying to work out what colour I'm going to put the sentiment, but I think I'm going to do it in black. I don't want any of these to be a focal colour, I just want them to be in the background. So for the sentiment, I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White. I'm actually just going to grab a slightly smaller piece of scrap. That could come in quite useful, that big one, so that's slightly smaller. And one of our, I'm thinking one of our ovals. Yeah, so I want my little birdhouse, and I want this thinking of you there. So I want it on a, I'm going to go with this, the stitched oval. Let me, yep, like that. I'm just going to run that through the Big Shot. For anyone who doesn't normally follow my channel, so is unaware, my Big Shot is actually on the table next to where I film. I can't fit it on the desk that I actually film on because when I actually crank the handle round, it hits the camera and you will get a dizzy bout of seasickness. I'm hoping it will change when we get the new cut emboss machine. We will soon see. So yeah, there's my oval, like that. Okay. So yeah, soft sea foam for the bird table. Just at the side, just there. Oh yes, I like that. I like it. I like it. And then we could do Life is Beautiful, but I wanted Thinking of You. But I think my oval is too big for Thinking of You, so I'm going to stick with Life is Beautiful. It's a nice sentiment anyway, you know. It's not like it's a horrible one, but it will fill up more of my oval, so it will look better. Oh, I do. This is a very enjoyable set. Now it's just whether I want it like that or whether I want it like that, and I think I want it like that. I do. So actually I haven't used the tree, but I'm still loving this card. I think I'm actually loving it more than the tree. No, what's with that? Thick Whisper White cardstock. Again, it's cut in half. Again, I haven't scored it in half, so I'm just going to grab my... And while I'm doing this one, I'm just going to actually do the next one, because we know we're doing 3 cards with this set, so I might as well just get this done. And then you watch, you'll be like, no, I don't want a Whisper White card. I want something else. Tough hell. You're having Whisper White because you scored it. So that fits on there really, really nicely. I'm thinking I want a ribbon of some sort. And I don't want a white one. Too easy to go with white. It's a bit too neutral. Sorry, I've just knocked you. I was going to my desk. So I have either the option of this delightful sort of cord or the Seaside Spray Metallic, and I'm thinking it might be this gorgeous cord, which I like. Myself a bit more room actually. This is a duo ribbon. Well, I say ribbon, it's not a ribbon, it's a cord, but it does come with a really nice shaded spruce thick ribbon. It's like a duo one in the catalogue. So scissors. I must have scissors somewhere. I'm a crafter. Crafters have to have scissors. I like that. My glue dots. I'm just going to fold my glue dot over, roll it, pop it up in the top. I don't normally roll my glue dots when I'm doing ribbon, but for twine and for cord like this, then yes, I'm going to, because it's quite thin. I don't want the glue dot to be visible. Those all stuck up. That's that one, and you're all going to laugh at me now. I've had a second thought about my next card, and unfortunately it might look like the Whisper White isn't happening. I know, you can all like shout at me later. I'm sorry. I want to do some embossing. Haven't done embossing for a bit, So, black piece of cardstock. Let's get this cut at 10.2. So 14.5 by 10.2, and if you cut it this way with the 14.5 first and the 10.2 rather than the other way that I was going to do, you'll actually get more use out your cardstock because you get more panels. Cuts it in a slightly nicer way, really. Okay, I want my Stamparatus. Where have I put that? No, No, I don't want my Stamparatus. Yes, I do. I'm doing the tree. Oh, I tell you what, people. Sometimes my head. Clean that up because I'm going to be popping Versamark on it, and I don't like to get my coloured ink on my Versamark. There we go. Just to double check. Cardstock in. Embossing Versamark. My little Dewberry. And do you know, I'm half tempted here to go for copper and for white. No, weird really, isn't it? I was going to go for just white, but then I thought if I do the tree in white and the leaves in copper. So I want the tree to be, no, tree in copper, leaves in white. So let's bring the tree down a bit, there we go. Versamark that up. Where's my case gone? You can tell the difference when you forget to put your case under because it goes all rocky. I'm actually going to stamp this twice. I want to make sure that I've got all of it definitely inked up. I don't want to miss any of it. I have the scrap piece of paper, so I'm going to fold that over to make a little channel because it's quite messy if you get the embossing powder where you shouldn't be getting it. I like that. I'm going to pop that back in there before I do anything else, otherwise that's going to create a heck of a mess. My heat tool is here somewhere. It's wrapped with all the wires from the week. I put my laptop and my monitor and stuff into the same plug switch, so I'm always alternating between my craft stuff and my work stuff. It's good anyway to keep things unplugged, right? I'm just going to use one of my plates to rest that on. And if you've got me on loud, I'd turn me down because I'm going to get noisy. I'm done. There's my tree. I'm half tempted, you know, not to do any more, but that's being lazy because I should be doing more. So I want my leaves again. And my leaves are also going to be done in Versamark, so I'm just going to use my little powder again. Because this is an evergreen tree. 1, 2, white Stampin' Emboss powder. So it will be green during the snow. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do while I'm here is I'm going to get the snow flakes that are in the set, and I'm going to use those too. Only a few in a few places, but do you know, I'm not sure I like this now. I could, if I wanted to, brush all the embossing powder off and just pretend I hadn't put the Versamark on, but I'm going to live with it. Considering I love that tree so much, I'm not as keen on it now. But I might be when it's finished, you never know. So, my tool's coming on again. I'm going to grab the Whisper White cardstock that I had scored. And I'm going to stick that on there flat. So I'm using our Stampin' Seal. I'm actually going to put quite a lot of adhesive onto the back of this, purely because when you use the heat on the cardstock, it starts to warp it. And I want this to stick flat. I don't want it warping on my card base. So I've literally covered the back in adhesive. Line that up, follow it down. Okay, and for sentiments and such like, I have the rest of my scrap from earlier, and I'm going to pop in that Thinking of You. Memento ink. Lovely. And the 2-inch punch. Some dimensionals. I think if I'd have carried on with copper and done some copper leaves, I possibly would have liked this a little bit more, because I did really like the tree when I first did it on the Stamparatus. I'm not sure about it now. You'll have to let me know whether you like it or not. Perhaps I'm just looking at it, I had a picture in my head and it hasn't really turned out how I planned it. Maybe that's it, I don't know. Let me know what you think. But the first card is there, the second card is there, and the third card there, and I actually think the second card is my favourite. Okay everybody, thanks for joining me. As I said, you can purchase everything I've used from my store, slimandstylish.com. Please do give me a thumbs up, like if you've enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment and subscribe back for more videos. And as I said, I do the same thing on a Saturday, but with things from the annual catalogue, so check out those. And I didn't use any of our gorgeous papers. Oh, I'll have to save those for another video on another day, won't I? Thanks everybody for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.